In one of Sunday's most dramatic finishes, the Carolina Panthers edged the Dallas Cowboys 30-27 at Bank of America Stadium after engineering a masterful final drive capped by a walk-off 33-yard field goal. The early Sunday matchup showcased contrasting offensive identities, Dallas leaning heavily on its passing attack, and Carolina punishing the Cowboys on the ground from start to finish. Despite being outpassed 261-194, the Panthers controlled the flow of the game with a 32 minutes and 02 seconds time of possession advantage, outgaining Dallas 410 total yards to 292. Carolina's offense leaned on a bruising ground assault that produced 216 rushing yards, while the Cowboys mustered just 31 rushing yards on 19 attempts. That discrepancy defined the afternoon. The scoring opened with a Carolina field goal before Dallas answered with one of its own, but the game flipped briefly in the second quarter. Dak Prescott found Hunter Lickby for a short touchdown, and before the half, found Jake Ferguson on a 19-yard strike. Carolina responded with a 19-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Young to rookie Tefty Hugh McMillan, tying the game 10-10. But as the teams headed into halftime, with momentum swinging both directions, Carolina's dominance truly took shape after the break. Running back Rico Dowdle, facing his former team, delivered a career-defining performance with 183 rushing yards, another 56 yards in the air, for a total of 239 total yards, repeatedly gashing the middle of the Dallas defense and extending drives that Prescott never had the chance to answer. Young added 2 additional touchdown passes, finishing with 199 yards and 3 scores, overcoming an early interception to orchestrate one of his most composed outings of the season. Dallas stayed afloat almost exclusively through the air. Prescott turned in an efficient afternoon, completing 25 of 34 passes for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the Cowboys' complete inability to run the ball left them predictable. Though the passing game produced big plays, stalled drives and third and short failures kept Dallas from ever fully seizing control. Still, the Cowboys had the ball in a tie game late in the fourth quarter. Unable to convert near midfield, they punted, giving Carolina a final chance with just over 2 minutes left. What followed was the defining sequence. A 15-play, 71-yard march built on Dowdle's physical runs and Young's poise. The Panthers drained the clock to a single second before the game-winning kick of 33 yards split the uprights, sending the home crowd into a frenzy. The Panthers prevailed because they controlled the game's most important situations. Their run game dictated tempo, their defense forced Dallas into one-dimensional play, and they executed flawlessly in the fourth quarter. Though the Cowboys accumulated passing numbers, they lost the battles that decide games: third downs, red zone efficiency, and late-game control. With the victory, Carolina climbed back to a .500 record, building steam for perhaps, although unlikely, playoff push, while Dallas dropped to 2-3-1 and left Charlotte with more questions about its stagnant ground attack and inability to close tight contests. At this point in the season, both teams are in different spots than projected going into the season. While the Cowboys entered the season optimistic about first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer and the steady leadership of Dak Prescott directing the passing attack, the first 6 weeks have made it difficult to envision Dallas mounting a serious challenge to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East. The Cowboys' defense has struggled to contain opposing offenses, leaving the team vulnerable even when the passing game is clicking. A wildcard berth remains a distant but possible hope, contingent on improvement on the defensive side of the ball. Meanwhile, the Panthers, though not yet playoff-bound, are showing tangible signs of growth. Carolina's young roster is developing under Bryce Young's leadership, and the team's balanced attack and situational execution suggests that meaningful progress is finally on the horizon.